The Teal Boulevard Underground project is underway, and we're excited to find out more about the process. Nader Hardari is a division manager of the City of Thousand Oaks. Welcome, Nader. How are you doing today?
Thank you, Missy. Thank you for having me today.
No, thank you for coming. So how long has this project been in the works?
Well, poles that are on the boulevard that in the area that we're undergrounding have been on the boulevard since the 1960s, and in fact predate the construction of Thousand Oaks Boulevard. They were placed there prior to the boulevard even being constructed. So we're talking about over 50 years. The initiation of getting some support to underground the wires took place in the 1990s when the City Council adopted a master plan of undergrounding in 1993, which identified this as one of the top priorities for undergrounding of utilities citywide. And then most recently in 2012, we started off the final design phase to work with Southern California Edison to get the project started.
So you said Southern California Edison. Does that mean the utilities that are overhead?
Correct.
The power lines?
Yes, and it has two different circuits overhead. They have a high voltage transmission line, 66,000 volts at the very top of the poles. Then in the middle is 16,000 volt distribution. And then at the bottom we have some additional utilities for communications, Time Warner and Crown Castle. So there's a variety of utilities on the overhead currently.
So they're overhead now, but how deep are those utilities going underground?
So on our 1.5 mile stretch of the project, the trench depth varies, and primarily varies due to other existing utilities which may be in the way that we have to overcome and go under. And in the typical sense, we're about 6 foot deep on the trench, 6 or 7 foot. But there are instances, and they're limited, fortunately, but there are a few instances where we have to go underneath some large existing utilities, and we have to go as deep as 17 foot deep with the trenching. So that's pretty substantial.
No, it is. So what is the city doing to make sure that this goes as smoothly as possible in managing this?
Yeah. So we decided at the outset of the project to take the lead role in the design and construction of the project. We had the option of doing it ourselves or having Edison do it, which is the traditional sense. But in this case, we want a little bit more control. We recognize this is Thousand Oaks Boulevard. This is the most important thoroughfare. There's a lot of businesses affected, so we wanted to have as much control as possible through the process, and so we decided to take the lead role. And in addition, we did a few other things too, such as pre-qualifying the contractors on the project to only allow contractors with substantial amount of experience doing this specific type of project to come and bid on the job, and also did a lot of upfront engineering work above and beyond what was necessary to put the project out and construct, and really try to troubleshoot and problem solve every existing obstacle we have to overcome on paper on the design phase, as opposed to having anything be pushed out into the construction phase.
Well, I'm sure one of the biggest questions that we all probably want to know are, what are the work hours so we can avoid you?
Right, so the work hours are dynamic, and we're trying to be cognizant of where we are at what point in time and what week and what street. And this is a 1.5 mile stretch. It's one boulevard, but it's kind of like 10 different zones and sections, given that we have the promenade, the post office, the auto mall, the Westlake High School. So there's so many different parties affected that we couldn't make one standardized work hour. So it's more dynamic, and it's recognizing the needs and sensitivities of each area we are. So in some cases we've worked substantially or predominantly at night, such as the intersection of Westlake Boulevard and Thousand Oaks Boulevard, and Auto Mall and Thousand Oaks Boulevard, but other areas are daytime. But the best way to really take account of those work hours and to keep up to speed on where the work is going to be taking place at what time in the area you're concerned about is to check the project website, and also to view sign up for the mailing list, which is a weekly update provided to people who are interested.
Okay, so to check the project website, I'm definitely getting to that. Where can we stay informed?
Right, so we try to make a simple hyperlink, a project-specific page. So it's toaks.org, which is the primary city page, /undergroundTOB. So that's where you can find all the information. We post the weekly updates there, as well as photos and updates. And there's a sign-up sheet there, sign-up link there to receive weekly updates if you want to receive them automatically.
Okay, well, there you have it. Thank you so much for coming in and letting us all know what's going on in our town.
Appreciate it. This is an exciting project, and we're happy to help transform the boulevard toward the future.
Thank you.
Thank you.